Imagine waking up one morning to shocking news. A small company from Japan has just released a fully electric car for only $7,000. That's not a misprint, $7,000. While the world's attention was fixated on Tesla's futuristic factories in California and BYD's innovations in China, something unexpected was quietly unfolding in the background. No media buzz, no grand launch event, just one product released under the radar that's now shaking the entire electric vehicle industry to its core. The car is called the MiBot, and it's spreading like wildfire. From Tokyo to Texas, everyone's talking about it. Tech forums, news anchors, influencers, it's everywhere. But it's not just hype. The MiBot is flying off shelves. Orders are coming in faster than anyone predicted. And now, the world is asking, how did a small player pull this off? How is this car so cheap? What's it made of? And most importantly, can it really take on global giants like Tesla, BYD, or even the legendary Toyota? This isn't just about a cheap car. It's about a potential turning point in the future of transportation. And what you're about to discover might just change everything you thought you knew about the EV revolution. The company behind this $7,000 shockwave, it's not a brand you'd recognize. It's called KG Motors. Until just a few months ago, barely anyone outside Japan had even heard of it. But today, even the titans of the auto industry, names like Toyota, Ford, and Volkswagen, are watching closely. To really understand how we got here, we need to rewind. This story doesn't start in a billion-dollar research lab. It begins in a quiet Japanese town nearly 20 years ago. 2 childhood friends, a small garage, a couple of old scooters, and a dream. Their mission wasn't to become the next Elon Musk. They didn't care about Silicon Valley fame or luxury showrooms. They wanted to build smart, affordable vehicles for everyday people. They called their company KG Motors, short for Keen and Green, a name that reflected both their curiosity and their commitment to clean, sustainable tech. In the beginning, it was tough. No funding, no fancy equipment, just grit. Their first breakthrough came with electric scooters. They were simple, sturdy, and dirt cheap, and people loved them. Slowly, KG Motors carved out a niche. That little bit of success, it lit a fire. Next came their first real challenge, a tiny electric car they called the People's EV. It wasn't luxurious, but it was exactly what city commuters needed: cheap, reliable, and efficient. Once again, they nailed it. And now, they've done the unthinkable. Even after their early success, no one imagined KG Motors would ever go toe-to-toe with giants like Tesla. That idea felt impossible, but today, it's happening. And it all started with one moment, one bold move. The launch of the MiBot wasn't your typical product rollout. It felt more like a twist in a movie. No teasers, no countdowns, just a sudden quiet announcement. And boom, the MiBot was here. A fully electric car priced at just $7,000. In a world where EVs usually cost $25,000 on the low end and skyrocket past $80,000, that price hit like a bombshell. Within hours, the internet exploded. Social media lit up with photos. Videos racked up millions of views. Everyone was asking the same thing. What is this car, and how is it even real? In Japan, the MiBot instantly struck a chord. A compact, affordable vehicle that fit the lifestyle perfectly. Small cities, tight streets, limited parking. The MiBot checked every box. But it didn't stop there. Car reviewers, tech analysts, even executives from major auto firms, they all took notice. And they were stunned. Because this car, this tiny $7,000 machine, wasn't just good. It was performing. So what's the secret? It starts with the design. The MiBot is tiny, a one-seater, just enough room for a single person and a small bag. But that's not a flaw, it's genius. In cities like Tokyo, where space is a luxury, it fits like a glove. You can park it anywhere, slip through traffic, navigate alleys and corners that SUVs wouldn't dare. Inside, it's just as smart. A sleek digital display, lightweight materials, simple, clean controls. No luxury leather, no clutter, nothing that doesn't serve a purpose. Everything you need and nothing you don't. And somehow, that simplicity feels revolutionary. In an age where cars are becoming software-driven, overloaded with features and priced out of reach, the MiBot is doing the opposite. It strips everything down to what really matters. And that, ironically, is what makes it stand out. Here's a simple truth. Most people drive alone. From morning commutes to grocery runs, we sit in traffic surrounded by 4 empty seats we rarely use. That's where MiBot flips the script. It's not trying to be a family car or a road trip machine. It's built with one mission: make solo driving smart, simple, and efficient. And it nails it. No wasted space, no oversized body, just a smooth, focused experience built entirely for one person. That kind of thinking, it's not just clever, it's practical. But the real magic is what powers it. Underneath its compact frame, MiBot runs on a custom-built battery made by KG Motors themselves. It's not the usual high-cost lithium-ion pack used by Tesla or BYD. Instead, they chose LFP, lithium iron phosphate. Why does that matter? Because LFP batteries are cheaper, safer, and way more durable. They don't overheat, they don't degrade as fast, and they make electric driving far more affordable. That one choice slashes the car's cost and boosts its reliability. On a single charge, the MiBot can go 120 to 150 kilometers. For a city driver, that's more than enough. No range anxiety, no stress. Just plug it in overnight and by morning it's ready to roll. A full charge takes about 4 to 5 hours. That's faster than most people sleep. In short, it's built for the real world, not some futuristic fantasy. And that's what's quietly making it a game changer. Another reason people are falling in love with the MiBot? It's easy to live with. Maintenance is simple, spare parts are cheap, and the motor? Built to last. Same with the battery. You don't need to be in and out of the mechanic's garage every month. For everyday drivers, that's a game changer. Less stress, less cost, more freedom. But this isn't just hype in the streets. The numbers are real. In the first month alone, MiBot sales skyrocketed. Thousands of units sold in record time. KG Motors didn't just hit the market, they overwhelmed it. Demand grew so fast they could barely keep up with production. And then, something no one expected. MiBot started outselling some of Toyota's compact EVs in Japan. Think about that for a second. Toyota, the undisputed king of Japan's auto industry, a household name with decades of dominance, now being challenged by a quiet little startup that began in a garage. The MiBot costs a third of what Toyota's compact EVs sell for, and yet it delivers solid range, sleek design, and dependable performance. For most buyers, it's a no-brainer. Because here's the truth. For years, people have wanted electric cars, but they just couldn't afford them. Tesla makes incredible vehicles, but at $35,000 or more, they're out of reach for millions. BYD too has made waves in the EV space, but even their lower-tier models stretch most family budgets. Then along came MiBot, and suddenly the EV dream didn't feel so distant anymore. MiBot changed everything. It wasn't just a cheap car, it was a doorway. A way for regular people, especially the middle class, to finally join the electric revolution. No more dreaming, no more waiting. MiBot made electric vehicles real for millions who had been left behind. That's why it exploded, not just because of the price, but because it solved a problem no one else had bothered to fix. And guess what? The giants noticed. Inside BYD, executives admitted they were caught off guard. They didn't expect a car like MiBot, not this soon, not this fast. Over at Tesla, the message was clear. It's time to speed up plans for budget-friendly EVs. The writing is on the wall. The future might not belong to sleek luxury sedans with autopilot and 17-inch touchscreens. It might belong to tiny, clever cars that anyone can own. But success comes with new problems. KG Motors now finds itself in a very different world, one full of pressure and high-stakes decisions. The first challenge? Batteries. MiBot runs on LFP batteries, and the materials, especially lithium, are getting more expensive. Much of it comes from China. A single disruption there could shake MiBot's pricing, or even shut down production. Then there's demand. It's overwhelming. Orders are flooding in from everywhere. But KG Motors isn't Toyota. They don't have hundreds of factories. If people have to wait too long, interest could fade, and fast. And finally, the biggest silent threat: regulations. Every country has different rules, safety standards, emissions, certifications. As KG Motors expands, they'll need to adapt. Quickly, carefully, and constantly. That means more testing, more engineering, more costs, and in the brutal, fast-moving EV market, delays can kill momentum overnight. But MiBot's rise hasn't gone unnoticed. The legacy players, Honda, Nissan, Suzuki, Daihatsu, they're watching, and they're moving fast. Each one now has plans on the table for their own version of a compact EV. And unlike KG Motors, these companies already have sprawling factories, global supply chains, and dealer networks in place. If they launch similar models, it could get crowded very quickly. The pressure is on, but KG Motors isn't backing down. In fact, they're speeding up. They've just announced a new project, a family version of the MiBot, a small 2- or 3-seater, still ultra affordable, still built for the everyday driver. They're also planning a relaunch of their original 2-seater model, this time with smarter tech and more refined features. And here's the big move. They're going global. KG Motors is now in talks to expand into India, Thailand, Indonesia, and the Philippines. Markets where a low-cost, durable EV could transform how millions move every day. And even in parts of Europe, small cities are expressing interest. Places where compact size, easy parking, and minimal maintenance matter more than horsepower. Because the mission isn't about status, it's about access. KG Motors doesn't want to make luxury cars. They want to make electric cars feel like smartphones, affordable, practical, everywhere. And that idea, it's changing the game. Before MiBot, most people believed electric vehicles were only for the wealthy, big, stylish machines packed with advanced tech and jaw-dropping price tags. They were exciting to look at, fun to talk about, but completely out of reach for the average driver. These cars made headlines, but they didn't fit real lives. They didn't fit real budgets. MiBot changed that. It proved that you can build a smart, reliable, affordable EV without cutting corners. No unnecessary extras. No luxury price tag, just a car that makes sense. And now, the entire world is paying attention. Automakers are being forced to rethink everything. Can Tesla and BYD bring their prices down without sacrificing quality? Will Toyota strike back with a low-cost EV of its own? The answers remain uncertain, but one thing is clear. The electric vehicle market will never be the same. MiBot showed us that innovation doesn't always come from the top, that it doesn't need billions in funding or global fame. It reminded the world that true innovation is about solving real problems for real people. It's not about who shouts the loudest, it's about who listens the best. Because in the end, most people don't care about flashy features. They don't need top speeds or giant dashboards. What they want is simple, a car that works, a car they can afford, a car that fits into their lives without breaking the bank. And that's exactly what KG Motors gave them. MiBot didn't win by being the fastest or the flashiest. It won by being honest. It looked at what people truly needed and delivered it. Smart, simple, and affordable. That's why it matters. That's why it captured the world's attention. And that's why it's now being called the car that shocked the giants. The road ahead won't be easy for KG Motors. They're stepping into a bigger arena now, one filled with supply chain challenges, fierce competition, and ever-evolving regulations. But no matter what comes next, they've already achieved something remarkable. They've shifted the narrative. They've started a new conversation, one that says the future of electric vehicles doesn't have to be reserved for the elite. It doesn't have to be expensive, complicated, or out of reach. It can be simple, smart, and for everyone. And maybe that's exactly what the EV world needed all along. So, what do you think? Would you buy a $7,000 electric car if it gave you everything you needed for daily life? Do you believe the future of EVs should be small, efficient, and affordable? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story got you thinking, if it challenged your ideas about the future of driving, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss what's coming next.